welcome to the first ever Royal Orthopaedic Leading Patient Safety Conference. That's great, isn't it? Do you think that's good? Thank you. Thank you.
I'm a relatively new member of staff, and I suppose it's the first chance that I've got to actually come to an event that's a trust-wide event where people are coming to talk about an issue that actually should be at the heart of all of our day-to-day practices, but sometimes, particularly as a non-clinical member of staff, I can sometimes get a bit taken away from really the patient safety element and just patients being at the heart of what we should be achieving.
If we are saying compassion, having compassion for all is a core value of this organisation, then that means paying attention, listening with fascination to people, having an understanding of their situation, empathising and taking intelligent action to help. So that's a core behaviour, it seems to me. 4 core behaviours that we need to deploy if we're to cultivate a culture of compassion.
Today so far I have seen Professor Michael West talk, which was absolutely wonderful because he seemed to just embody staff engagement being right at the centre of what we should be doing, but really because we all play a role individually, and I think for us to all be individually engaged we have to think about what motivates us, and we also have to be willing to listen to each other, and that's for me what stuck with me the most, is that we'll probably all have some amazing ideas as to how we can improve patient safety, but unless we actually talk to each other and listen and feel engaged and feel that we can collectively make a difference, I don't think we can make the change that we want to make without doing that together.
We've just heard about how to be compassionate for ourselves first and foremost before being compassionate to others. And that's the same with any value or any trait. Is actually how do we get the courage within us? Because when we get the courage within ourselves to act in a way that serves us, it then serves externally as well.
We've had a really good workshop on values, and really good conversation got going, and very clear that different people have a lot of the same values that are quite well aligned to the trust values, which is great.
Today I've experienced that the ROH as an institution wants to look forwards and move its process and pathways in the direction of improving patient care, looking at medical leadership, specifically in nursing leadership, to try and deliver that.
Again, Michael West emphasised the issue of promoting culture, and this is a commitment from the nursing professionals that we will do that. And I'm sure my nursing colleagues who are in the room, they are committed to doing that.
Well, the best thing that I've learned today about patient safety, about implementing the values of ROH and emphasizing more on the leadership.
I'm 60 years old. I'm still doing all those things that I have been for 25 years, and for I think 23 of those years I've been a medical leader in one form or another, having had to take different roles and then developing different interests and moving into different spheres of influence. This is the emblem of one of your local CCGs, Birmingham South Central CCG. I work for them a little bit. I'm their secondary care board member. I'm also the director of the Central England Abdominal Aortic Aneurysm Screening Project.
The best things about this conference is about focusing on patient safety, and also the opportunity to go in different sort of areas to listen to different speakers, and we've learned so much about patient safety and leadership.
His 20-year-old son had died. The trust had appropriately sent or not sent the information to the coroner's office. The coroner declared death by misadventure. And Frank has been fighting ever since to get this information right. So the first thing we did at the time was to talk to the solicitor, who decided that her job was to protect the trust's reputation. Did a disciplinary investigation, following which she was dismissed.
So why today is so important for not just clinicians but for everyone who works at the Royal Orthopaedic Hospital is this is about purely and simply patient quality. It's about how we prepare to do the right thing at the right time, in the right place, consistently over and over again, producing the high quality care that our orthopaedic patients deserve.
So our mission, the Royal College of Surgeons of England, is committed to enabling surgeons, so it's a surgeon-orientated organisation, to achieve and maintain the highest standards of surgical practice and patient care. And the patient care has only just been added because we've changed our attitude over the last decade. Instead of being surgeon-centric, we're now patient-centric. So our strapline, which we'll see later on the more new slides that are in here, says not advancing surgical standards, which is what it said for 100 years, but advancing surgical care. So it is about the care that the patient receives.
Today I found the talk by Michael West really interesting. His interesting comments about teamwork really resonated with some of the work that we're doing at the Royal Orthopaedic at the moment. Professor Grime has just made a comment about our theatre efficiency, and I'm really interested to find out a little bit more about what his concerns are, because I think the way that we work to improve things needs to reflect teamwork more. So in that example, we should be talking to those staff in theatre for them to design the change rather than us to enforce change. And I think the information Michael talked about where staff engagement really drove the actual patient experience and outcomes really proves that what we need to do is deliver change through our staff rather than to make them make a change they don't necessarily believe in.
The highlight of today has been listening to Professor Michael West this morning. Michael and I share very, very similar views about management style and about how we empower our staff and engage our staff to lead and become leaders.
Kingsfund, the institution I respect in the world of healthcare, so to have someone from there talking to us today, I think gave an example of how important these sort of events are.